this like existential pit of your stomach feeling. So if they can do that again with like high crazy science fiction, I am absolutely on board. I was just really impressed by that reveal trailer. Also, 007 First Light. Come on, guys. You know it. Like, I love James Bond. I also love James Bond video games very much. So for us to get a new one, I'm down. I play them all. Bloodstone, the fucking Quantum of Solace game. I played every single James Bond game like since GoldenEye, I guess. There was a time in my life where it's like we always got Star Wars games, we always got like a bunch of James Bond games. So I'm excited that we're getting a new James Bond game, but one that is just its own new thing, a new take on Bond, a new world, a new setting, a young Bond. I'm into that. As long as it has all the cool stuff I like, you know, like martinis, cool cars, spy shit, exotic locations around the world, like babes and crazy guys. I don't know, like as long as it does that, I'm down. And also from a gameplay perspective, I love IO Interactive. I've been you know, pretty upfront about how I've enjoyed all of their games for a long time now, but the modern Hitman gameplay translates so well to this. I'm excited to see how that formula evolves and changes and twists to fit a James Bond thing. Just, it looks like a good old action spectacle with a bad frame rate, judging by the last like preview thing we got. But I'm just really hoping that they can like really nail the feel of Bond, because that's such a hard thing to tap into, you know. But you know, I'll definitely give IO the benefit of the doubt at least. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. This just looks like a lot of fun. I love this style of game. And also, like, you know, we've had a lot of, you know, Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood type of things, right? But nothing really hit, and I think this is a good way to really shake up that formula. The vehicle, characters, weapons, like all that. It just looks creative, it looks fun, and I hope it's good. It might be something that I play and love, but I only play it for like a month and then bounce off of it. I'm okay. I bounce off of multiplayer games quickly regardless, because I'm always jumping to the next thing. But this just looks cool. This is like one of the few multiplayer games I'm interested in that's coming next year. Phantom Blade Zero continues the kind of like new trend of Chinese development with like big budgets and a lot of passion coming in and making crazy shit. This just looks great. I have played this at like Summer Game Fest and preview events behind the scenes, and I can confirm that like it is a playable game. Like some of the gameplay looked too good to be true, but like it is a game you play, and it's pretty challenging, but also it's like extremely chaotic. It's not like complete Souls-like. It's actually a lot more of like an action combat game. The main character is a badass, and like there are some pretty cool boss battles, and I don't know. I don't have like too much to say about this one other than like it's cool as shit. And I want to play more of that. Out of Words is one I think you should absolutely keep your eye on. This is the stop-motion animated game of like two kids who get transported to a mystical world, and they lose the ability to speak, and they have to go through with the power of friendship and all that. This looks cool. It looks very much like a kind of more 2D, very artsy version of a Haze-like game, like It Takes Two or a Split Fiction. But what really caught me here is the emotion behind it. It seems like it's going for real, genuine, heartfelt storytelling. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. I got to check out a little bit of this game behind the scenes, and I was immediately hooked by the emotional cues. And the gameplay was actually a little more challenging than I thought, and required a little bit more co-op collaboration than I thought. You know, I thought it was going to be more of like a 2D walking sim, but there is some gameplay stuff going on here. And the people behind it are just very passionate about the storytelling aspect. Like I can totally tell talking to them. And I think this might be pretty cool. And I think it might make people cry and smile. And sometimes you need that in video. Speaking of crying and smiling, the total opposite is Valor Mortis. This is the developer's words, this is specifically, and people have played this, there's been like an alpha, like tests and shit like that. This is a first-person Souls-like game. I am burnt out on Souls-likes, man. They take a lot out of me because they're so hard. I know people love them. I love some of them, like Lies of P, and like I will absolutely go for this because it's another one where I'm like, well, it's different enough, first person, but also the style. The Napoleonic era, like gothic, grotesque nature to it all just really, really hits with me personally. It looks cool, it looks unique, and yeah, I will trudge through it and get my ass beat to see more of what they've created. Also, it's worth acknowledging for this next game, this is something I always put on my list, it's a blank spot. There's always room for something completely unexpected to release and really surprise people. Absolutely come out of nowhere. When people say like, oh, video games suck now, there's nothing good, something always comes out like every year that it just kind of shakes things up, whether it goes super mainstream, is it just a secret game that gets released, or something that no one cared about and then it went viral and then people loved it. Like there's always going to be something. Whether it was the fact that like in 2025 we didn't even know if Silksong was going to release and it came out, to random things that popped up like Schedule 1 that went viral and people love this creative, cool indie project. The previous years like Palworld really taking the world by storm. Help Pokemon Go. Look, there's always room every year for something unexpected, and I always think that that's something to just think about when you're going into 2026. Like, oh, there's gonna be some weird shit out there that might be for me. You just don't know it yet, and I'm glad that like there is still some of that unpredictable nature to the world of video games. That's why I'm still here. Star Wars Galactic Racer was announced at the Game Awards, and this is apparently slated for 2026. That's awesome. So it's a new studio founded by a lot of people who have worked on very good arcade-style racing games, and this just goes back to what I always say. I'm kind of like a broken record at this point, but like we're getting back to the point where we have a good amount of weird, quirky, and fun Star Wars games. I grew up having like a plate, like a plethora of Star Wars games. It was insane what we had, and this here just feels good. It feels right. And the fact too that it's not dedicated to just pod racing. A pod racer solo thing would have been great, but the fact that like you have different speeders, speed bikes, and like all that, like I think that's cool because it gives me a little bit of Star Wars Demolition vibes from back in the day, which was like a Star Wars Twisted Metal spinoff. Like I'm getting lost the weeds, but essentially it's cool. It's a little fresh. It's a little different, and I'm gonna play the hell out of it. Also, on the more indie side, Over the Hill is a project I've kept my eye on for a long time now. This is essentially a trail driving game. Like, you can call it a racing game, but it's like a trail driving exploration off-road cooperative game that you can play with friends. But the art style is beautiful, and there's like little elements of like fixing your cars up, repairing, using winches, doing all the off-road stuff. But for me specifically, it's all based around SUVs or trucks from like the 80s and 90s, which is just what the Dr. Order is. A huge fan of the 1996 Jeep Cherokee XJ, and the classic Toyota FJ Cruisers and 4Runners and stuff like that. I love seeing this. This looks cool, but it also looks kind of chill and like laid back. It's like a Mud Runner or a Snow Runner, but like with a different art style and just a little bit more about the vibes. And I'm into that. Just a trail game, like with like a big open map in front of you, things to explore, dropping it in 4 high. I don't know, this just seems right up my alley, and I can't wait. Also,